Welcome to the Two Fat Guys and Album Podcast, your weekly dive into iconic albums and our search for the modern classics. This week, we look at an album, perhaps a band, that started a movement, or maybe just steered that movement in a new direction. I'm unclear how you define the influence of a foundational album of the alt-rock nation. This is the ironically named album from the ironically named band. This is Jane's Addiction's Nothing Shocking. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more album reviews, in-depth discussions, and music analysis from two fat guys who love talking about music, no matter the genre. I am Mike Blackburn. I'll be your host and narrator, and with me, as always, the slightly sunburned, but my still good friend, the maestro of music, the siren of sound, the doctor of the diminished chord, Brek Hufnus. How you doing, Maestro?
Good. Yeah, no, I was playing the golf today a little bit. Might have got some sun.
Yeah,
If I start blabbering incoherently, it might be heat stroke.
Or your normal discussion of music.
You are welcome for that softball to start the show.
Yes. We do start these shows with. You seem flabbergasted.
I feel like I should have. I didn't know ironic was going to make such a big appearance in the preamble.
That's the introduction. Mm-hmm.
Do you want to elaborate on that, or are we just going with your word choice is fine? Like, how is Jane's Addiction an ironic name?
They're all, so Jane's Addiction was named after a Jane, a woman.
Who was an addict.
Yeah.
And the ironic, this is going to be like our double entendre discussion.
Well,
what is ironic
about
naming?
They're all kind of drug addicts, I think, at some point.
So it seems like an apt description, not an ironic description. It seems like it's...
Well, I think it's ironic that they would choose that name. That's all I'm going with that. And I think, nothing shocking from an album that's completely shocking in every single way. It was banned for several... it was banned by record stores.
Right, but the nothing shocking part of it
is ironic because everything about the album is shocking.
Okay, I mean, you can make a little bit of an argument on that one. No, not really. I mean, the point, not to jump into the songs already, but the whole point of the lyric is that people are, let things go and are not shocked by things. And, which is probably as apt today as it was in 1988.
Sounds ironic.
Okay, so we're not working on actual definitions today. All right, let's next nuggets.
Yeah.
Nuggets. Okay, we talked about Who's Next last episode.
Yep.
And Get Sunk.
Yeah.
Right, and so Who's Next by the ironically named band The Who. We talked about the album cover because we knew who they were, right? Why would you name the Who? They weren't. It's like who's on first, what's on second. But that's not the nugget.
You're not going to let this go, huh?
I will try. I will do my best. We had talked about the album cover.
Yeah.
And how some band members...
So Who Next has that monolith
yes.
on the front of it, and it looks like they're all walking away after peeing on it.
Yeah, yes, it's exactly what it is and what it was intended to look like.
Mm-hmm.
All I can say is I threw the drummer under the bus.
You did?
Keith Moon, because he's known for his antics.
Antics, as drummers are.
Right. And it was not him that actually relieved himself on the monolith. It was Pete Townsend. On the other hand, they were all trying to relieve themselves on the monolith. Some had performance anxiety and had to resort to water. So Keith Moon did not... it was not like for moral reasons that he used water. He just wasn't able to, at the time.
Don't have to go, you don't have to go.
So apologies to Keith Moon. It was, in fact, Pete Townsend who successfully, did the thing on the monolith.
All right.
You keep coming. Nugget number 2.
Nugget number 2, yes.
You occasionally say things like rock is dead on this podcast.
I think that's a provocative way of making the point I was trying to suggest, Jess, that the rock era has ended, and I believe that has been definitively explained by numerous people. You just won't embrace it because I said it.
No, it's entirely wrong. Goose has sold out Madison Square Garden. And Madison Square Garden's a very large arena.
Mm-hmm,
Goose, I think, counts as a rock band. And one of your babblings is that rock bands don't sell out stadiums anymore.
I don't think
that was one of your evidentiary
Sure. There's
proceedings.
well, and I don't really know when Goose was founded. I don't have the date because you can also say, hey, like,
I would say Goose is probably in the
Stones sold out.
last decade.
The Stones sold out.
Okay, Goose was not 1963. Let's just say that, and not 1970, and not 1980. And I'm just gonna, off the top of my head, say 2010 to 2015 ish. So Goose, a perfectly good modern rock band, selling out Madison Square Garden. That's nugget number 2.
Good for you. You got one.
Yeah.
Yay.
Which one?
Yay. There's one band that sold out one stadium once.
I
so
see.
now rock is suddenly reborn. But
we talked about the other previous rock bands
so
that also have number 1 albums.
It is widely established, I think, that the rock era is over and we've moved on to other
If you define the rock era as ending in 1997, yes, 1997 has ended. Rock music has not.
No. Yeah.
Okay. Nugget number 3. Unless you want to defend.
No, I just as I said in the beginning of my statement that's a provocative way of saying that the rock era is over.
Okay.
And we have defined that more than once. There are experts, there are books written about it. I think Rolling Stone magazine, wherever that is, takes it as just a matter of fact that the rock era has ended and we've moved on to other things. So I think you need to let this one go because we're building you up in this show as like an expert on this stuff, and you're sounding like an idiot.
Because Goose, rock band,
one
that's
band,
okay.
one time did one thing once.
Moving on. Tyler the Creator. Are you familiar with Tyler the Creator?
Yes, I think he played La La or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did. He has an opinion on podcasts. And
oh boy,
it just came up. So I'm just gonna quote.
Are you going to invite him to?
Let's
sit in the third chair.
It's possible.
Okay.
Let's see where this goes.
All right.
Tyler the Creator has been quoted, and I quote.
I don't think that's how that works.
Don't make me laugh. Very serious about this.
Yeah. All right.
I think you should listen carefully. I think, this is in the words of Tyler the Creator, I think we give a lot of people who aren't smart and just want attention to be loud and incorrect. He's anti-podcast. Mm-hmm. He thinks that a lot of not smart people who just want attention and are loud and incorrect have podcasts, and he doesn't approve of that. And I just want you to know, as your friend of 40-some years, I am not going to let Tyler the Creator talk about you like that. I am not. Tyler the Creator, do not talk about my friend in that way.
Just killing yourself
I am
with
standing
this one, huh?
Yeah. I'm challenging. I can't get you through this. I am challenging Tyler the Creator to a rap battle, to avenge you, to avenge your honor. Mano a mano. We're gonna spit some syllables, and right here on this show, Tyler the Creator. Right here on the show, we have a third chair. Do not talk about my friend that way. He not like us. He not like us.
Is that your rap?
It's starting. It's just the beginning.
Yeah,
it's just the beginning.
Workshopping it.
Tyler the Creator has not even released an album since 2024. Sounds
2024.
2024. Sounds a lot like Tyler sitting on his butt playing videos all game to me. That's what it sounds like. Playing video games, doing nothing, not creating at all. Tyler,
not the creator.
not the creator. You have been dissed.
All right. Well,
That's it.
there you have it.
Come and get some.
Yeah, we called out Tyler the creator.
What you gonna do about it now?
I don't know. I mean,
and then after that, he mentioned 2 podcasts that he likes.
was one of them ours?
I didn't read it that far.
Yeah.
Could have.
I think there's anybody can do a podcast, right?
That's true.
But listen to the cable news. It's a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about half the time.
Yep.
Just trying to make people angry. So at least we're having some fun doing it.
We are having some fun. I had a little bit more fun than I intended. I could not get through that, but at any rate.
Yeah. Again, I mentioned something about comics and comedians one point in time, and I kind of stand by that.
Okay. I feel good about it.
All right.
That's all I got. That's all my nuggets.
Anything else? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can dive into this one if you want to.
Let's dive right in.
All right. Let's drop the needle on side 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rock. In the red corner, an album that needs no introduction. This 1988 masterpiece is ranked 312 by Rolling Stone. It reached platinum status and charted at 103 in the US. It is the debut album by alt-rock trailblazers, Jane's Addiction. This is Nothing's Shocking. And in the blue corner, 2 fat guys. This is 2 fat guys and an album.
So we're going to dig in now to this ironically named album, Nothing Shocking by Jane's Addiction. You're just sitting there in the chair with your mouth open half of the show.
It's a gape.
A gape. He's a gape.
Which doesn't work that well on an audio podcast, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
Since when? All right. So do you want? I think the band is kind of interesting to talk about. The album, the band, the history of the band, the members of the band. Personally, I find the band as fascinating as the music. So
Okay.
why don't we
Well, Jane's Addiction, named as mentioned before after an actual person named Jane, who was unironically a heroin addict. And the other members of the band were also unironically drug users.
Wow, how
Some
ironic.
of them addictive.
Mm-hmm.
But so yes, that is the band. They were formed in 1985 by Farrell, who was and I didn't write this down. They're from California, though. I think that's an LA band. Is that true?
Well, they're definitely an LA band, and Navarro and Perkins are from Southern California.
Okay.
I want to say Perry is from the from Money on the East Coast, like Connecticut or something.
Okay, and then he moved to find California.
To live the Southern California
the California
life.
dream, yes.
Yeah.
That draws so many. Yeah, no, I will accept that answer. So he's the lead singer, also known for founding Lollapalooza, which was originally an alt-rock festival and is now sort of permanently housed in Chicago and plays a much wider variety of music than it first.
Sure.
When
Is
first
he still
created.
involved?
To my knowledge, he is.
So he is considered or has been called, like Van Morrison's been called the Godfather of yacht rock.
Not by anybody with knowledge, but
he's been called the
by
Godfather
the way,
of alt
can
rock.
I know this is not the beginning segment, but when I've mentioned that we should discuss yacht rock at the beginning, and you cowardly won't accept that challenge. So I'm challenging you, along with Tyler, the creator, that
All right.
you know, if Tyler doesn't show up, perhaps we could dive into yacht rock a bit, because that's an interesting story as well. But you were saying
Sure.
Perry Farrell.
Is widely considered the godfather of alternative rock.
Yeah, I think that's very fair. I think
Uh,
that's true. I will accept that as well. I think he's it's a very important musician and a very important band.
So the band really sort of took that what was happening and kind of a part of what was happening in Southern California, because you had kind of dueling. You had that sort of post-punk energy still kind of circulating around.
Okay, that would
And-
be emblematic of what band say. Sorry
Give
to
me a
put you
minute.
on the spot.
Yeah, no. Give me a minute. It'll come to me.
Okay.
But you also had kind of the heavier rock of like, the early Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
You had, Motley Crue. You had,
Right. Well, those are like your heavy metal
yeah.
type bands, right? And
But
these-
we're all kind of they're blowing up the scene
Right.
there in Southern California.
I mean,
And then on the other side of the street, so there's like some clubs that catered to heavy metal and
Okay.
some clubs that catered to more of the alt rock.
right.
They actually were like almost the house band at a club called Scream,
Okay.
where they did a lot. Now it's interesting here because he was a bit older. He had a band or two before,
Yes.
kind of forming,
Right.
and Stephen Perkins, who's the drummer,
Yes.
was dating the 17-year-old, was 17 and dating the sister of Eric Avery.
Yes. The bassist.
Yeah, the bassist, and so that's how they kind of
And co-founder. I think Perry Farrell
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Avery were the initial.
well, they were in
band.
some other band together, and then decided to do this, and
Yeah.
then brought in this Perkins and Navarro,
Yes.
who were both teenagers.
Yeah, amazing.
They were 17 or something, 18 when they
Right.
first joined the
Well,
band.
and okay, this is going to be the episode where I ask some questions that I don't know the answers to.
Sure.
But wouldn't Perry Farrell have only been about 19 at the time?
No, he was probably 22, 23.
Okay, so a
He's
bit older.
about 7 years older
Okay.
than the other ones. And
Gotcha.
this band, I mean, so you have him. He's a huge personality. He's kind of
Massive.
he brings people together and bends people to his will, sort of.
You could say that, yeah. For better or worse. Really.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they're all like
Do you
really
know
they're
about-
messed up.
Yeah. Do you know about the business agreement with this band?
Yeah, well, that's only.
I mean, that's sort of to your point of how Farrell.
Yeah, I know he took a lot of the.
He wanted at the time that this album was being recorded.
You got to think the people that he is squandering or squelching or whatever
Right.
the term is his bandmates.
Exactly.
And also kids.
Right.
None of them are 20 years old yet.
Right. Yeah, he wanted 50% of the band's publishing royalties for writing the lyrics. And I'm just reading this verbatim, and then I'll try to maybe interpret it a little bit. Plus a quarter of the remaining half for writing music. He wanted 62.5% of the publishing royalties. And then the remaining musicians received 12.5% each. And when he made that demand, that almost ended the band before they even released the first album. They were pretty much ready to walk. And I think, the managers got involved, and the deal stayed as it was.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And so they ended up agreeing to that deal. But you can see why Jane's Addiction did not have a long run either.
they They basically went from the first.
like 2 albums, and
They did a live album. They did an album before this.
before this was a live album. Exactly.
Yeah. So their first album was a live album, and then they did
So this was their first studio album.
this studio album, probably another studio album.
Yeah.
That was it. So, they blew up in '91.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see why. But this band is so messed up that the normal one is the drummer.
Right.
And
we just talked about how wacky drummers are.
He's the only one who wasn't
Yeah.
an addict.
Yeah.
But here's some other kind of just weird things where this whole band comes from. Farrell's mother died by suicide when he was 3.
Mm-hmm.
Navarro's mother was murdered by an ex-boyfriend when he was 15.
Yeah.
And Avery discovered the identity of his biological father in high school and quickly spiraled toward his first stint in rehab.
Yeah.
That's a messed up. And then you have a drummer.
Yeah, they have issues.
Yeah.
No, for sure. There's a lot of. It makes for great music, in my opinion. But yeah, that it does let you know where they're coming from. To go back to your discussion of the music and where they come out of in the California scene at the time, just to sort of wrap a bow around that and bring those ideas together, I think what makes Jane's Addiction such a special band is they kind of merged those scenes, the alt rock scene and the
Correct.
heavy metal scene,
Right.
and so they were the first like heavy metal art rock. Alt rock band. And again, if you look for the alt bands that had commercial success, you're talking about like the Pixies and REM.
Mm-hmm.
So they were a little hoity-toity. I would consider Jane's Addiction an art rock band as well, personally. But
an art rock band,
yes,
not an alt rock
both.
band.
I would consider them both.
All right.
But I think their main claim to fame, like in the overall world of music, is how they brought together that
Sure.
heavy metal world and that alt rock world and created something new and different.
Right. Well, that's kind of where I was going. Is there were kind of two sides to the kind of the Southern California sound at that point in
Yes.
time, and they just mixed them all together. And
Yeah.
so you have them mixing those two kind of sounds together, on top of this like fractious, fiery,
Yeah.
internal kind of band relationship with a bunch of messed up people.
Right.
Created a very interesting album.
I think so. I mean, I personally love the album. I do want to. So we talked about Eric Avery, the bassist. We talked about Stephen Perkins, the drummer. Just a couple other blurbs. Perry Farrell also went on to do Porno for Pyros after Jane's Addiction broke up.
He was in that?
Yes.
I know the drummer was in it.
Okay,
Perkins
so
was in
maybe
it.
he worked together with the drummer on Porno for Pyros.
Well,
but-
then he did a couple solo albums, which
Yeah.
Perkins was the drummer for those as well.
Well, maybe wanted to try to hang out with the normal guy. I don't know. Dave Navarro
yeah.
went on and did some work with the Red Hot Chili Peppers after leaving the band. He's the guitarist. To me, criminally unranked. He's a criminally unranked guitarist. I think he's spectacular. And I think he's one of the very important sounds of Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
So big, Dave Navarro needs some love from Rolling Stone.
So it's interesting. I would say he gets. I mean, I've heard a lot of him over the years,
Mm-hmm.
and because I think he's roughly like our age.
Probably.
Yeah. So I've heard a lot of him. I've heard him interviewed. I don't think he really, and he was a kid, but I don't think he stands out as much in this as he does. This album, he gets kind of overwhelmed by some
I
of the
don't
other
think
things.
so. I honestly don't.
There's a
think
couple of songs where he kind of he does something nice in like the Mountain Song and whatever,
Oh.
but the first 3 songs he gets, the drums are so.
Well, I think
It's an
First of all,
interesting
like,
mix. It's
I
an
think-
interesting mix.
Yeah, I will go so far as to say it's a great mix. I think they're all excellent at what they do. I think
I
Perry
agree.
Farrell's a great
Yeah.
frontman, and then is when you look at the rhythm section, primarily the bassist and guitar, their interactions and how they work together. Again, this is a guy that
It's a
it's
very
a lot
strong
of
bass line.
riffs.
It's a very strong bass line.
Right.
It's a very strong drum.
Yes, and so that combo of that bass and drums connection is a very, very important part of this sound also. But on top of that is Farrell going crazy and Dave Navarro going crazy. I personally don't feel Dave Navarro gets lost in this at all.
Right.
I think the Eric Avery and Stephen Perkins do an amazing job of laying down these bass riffs, and then everybody else is able to just party on top of that, and they both just do a great job of it. That's part of the magic of this band. So I do think they're more balanced. I think Dave Navarro is holds his own, more than holds his own. But I do agree that the bass lines, those bass riffs make the songs.
They do, and then it's whatever you call that drum beat, because it's like it's kind of fast and repetitive, and
right.
And the mix is interesting because it's really forward.
Uh-huh.
It's very hard to hear kind of the lyrics all the time with
with all that going on.
Drum kind of pounding, and then
I've never noticed that, so maybe it's what you're listening on or what I'm listening on.
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a headphones walking down the street, and car guy mostly.
Yeah, fair. I mean, either way, I can't.
I don't have the time to lounge in my fat chair in the fat cave and listen to my fat albums.
No, I listen. I listen to this on both in the car and on headphones as well. So I didn't feel so overwhelmed by it.
Yeah, but I mean, just take a listen. Hear what listen to the first 3 songs on the way home and see if you don't agree with me a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
The album,
powerful drum. I mean, it just. I don't. So if I have any problem with the album, the sound and whatever, it is that I think it's the mix, and I don't know why you would.
It doesn't stand out to me as a problem.
All right.
It's all I could say.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a sound, but I don't know.
Yeah, I hear it more balanced, and I hear the mix as fine. And I do think they're sort of got that. Again, it's a hard rock band, so that you will have the bass and the drums a bit more forward, I think, in that, just to have that metal sound, although not a pure metal band. Again, an alt rock band with a metal sound. It might be.
I get it, but the great drummers go nuts, but they have.
Well, they are
they pick and choose.
They are in the hands of the mixing.
You're right. Yeah. This just was like so forward and so through the whole thing, and then his sound is there like a distortion to him or
on the drums?
No, on Farrell's singing.
Voice.
Yeah. How is that? Because it's a very distinct.
He has a very distinct sound. I think it's 90% his voice. I think most singers have effects of some sort on them. They usually have a little bit of echo, a little reverb.
I was going to say reverb
so there's
on
always, but virtually everybody uses that. It fills up the sound a little bit. There's definitely a little echo, a little bit of reverb. But the distortion could just be him, the power of his voice distorting the sound.
Yeah.
And I think it's an artistic choice to get that sound.
Well, moments before we got into the Fat Cave here, I watched the video to the Mountain Song, the official video.
What a video.
It is what a video, and but it's also just them performing how
energetic.
Yeah,
would you say
energetic would be a good term?
Well, I mean they let it all out, right? There was no holding back.
I'm getting old, but I'm thinking they got to be tired.
They got to be really tired, or
they're 18
drugs
years
for
old.
that.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, no, they put it out on stage. I mean, I think they perform amazingly well, amazing intensity. I mean, for someone like you who's a lo-fi punk rock, blah blah blah, I would think that this would be right in your wheelhouse, actually.
So if you pull apart the lyrics, it is
okay.
it's disappointing to me that the lyrics get lost in the delivery and the mix,
Okay.
because there's some extremely powerful songs here
It's
that
very
you
well.
have to read.
It's very well written. It's a very the lyrics
yeah.
match. They're
So
very
kind
well.
of both bands we're talking about today, as we hit somebody, is kind of they're similar in this sense of they have the powerful lyrics.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, I feel like the two.
and
Our
and
third album will match up
yeah, and they kind of get overwhelmed a little bit in
with the heaviness of the music.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's an artistic choice. I mean,
I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
but
I get
it
what you're
just-
saying, but again, the heaviness of them is what makes them who they are. So, maybe it could have been mixed out a little differently. It's honestly never bothered me.
Yeah,
So yeah, so we just are hearing it a bit differently. But to our listeners, check it
Yeah.
out and see what you think.
And I'm not denying at all the kind of this album and the band's place in
Yeah,
in
right, I get it.
music lore. It's just I would have, if I was the
If
engineer, I would
you would have done a little differently.
little differently.
Maybe more acoustic guitar. Like a more of a
Little-
Cat Stevens
little-
approach. And I will say, having made fun, I do like how this album does have those acoustic moments and those gentle moments and those
Yeah.
quiet moments that offset the screaming. If it was an entire album of that intensity level, it probably would have worn me out. And I do think that this album does
Yeah.
a great job. It has a great ebb and flow to it, and the songs do have a path. I
Yeah.
think there's a journey that you go on with this album, and it's not just scream your face off all the time, and that works for me. I like that.
Okay, all right. You want to touch on some songs, or
Yeah. Did
wanna
you?
run through the?
Okay.
You ready?
I am ready. Well, we have 11 songs. Okay. Up
So
the
that-
the beach is the first song.
So 11 songs that fits into your criteria.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm not against more songs. I just as long as
17 didn't seem to be your number.
there were 17 really below average songs.
All right.
um,
I think both time and number of songs is a fair.
I do think if you're gonna make, and this is not a shot, okay, but if you're gonna make a long form album with 17 songs on it, you have to be able to maintain interest for those 17 songs. And I've listened to many albums from artists that I like, and it's literally just too many songs, and the album loses its cohesiveness. It just turns into a run-on sentence of songs.
Yeah.
So even though I'm not, it doesn't have to be 11 songs or 12 songs, but you better be able to tell a good story. You better have 17 songs of ideas if you're going to put a 17-song album out, and it must have, I think some thematic content to really work. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of songs.
So there are longer, more songs on albums that are like, double albums.
Sure.
Sure.
And I'm not against those at
yeah.
all.
But this was what we're talking about is a album I recommended that I enjoyed.
Yes.
By the Sheepdogs
Yes.
called
Changing Colors.
Changing Colors.
Spelled wrong.
Spelled Canadian.
Yes.
Which the Maestro was less than enamored with about 5 shows ago.
Right. We should
so
be finding out the vote tallies soon.
So that was 17 albums on just a single,
Yeah,
two-sided.
17 songs, 2 of them okay,
Yeah.
the other 15 torture. Only because when we do this and you name an album, I'm committed to fully giving that album a
Sure.
chance, right? I could have put it this way. I could have listened to 5 songs and said, pshaw, I'm not interested in this. But I didn't, and I always say give anything, if you're going to try to expand your palette and your interests, a lot of times
Our search for the modern
our
classics.
search for the modern classics, a lot of times the first time you hear something new and different, you're not going to like it because it's new and different. And by giving it repeated listens, giving it 2 or 3, real efforts, a lot of times those albums reveal themselves on multiple listenings, and I have that personally experienced that a lot, all the time. So I very much am. You know, I might be very judgy on the first time I hear an album, especially if somebody says, this is a great album, I love this album. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait. And then I listen to it, and I don't love the album. And then, so it takes me a while to warm up to it sometimes.
So that, well, what would be the shortest number of songs probably is Wish You Were Here with 5, right?
Right.
So.
Yeah. It was still a full-length album, but.
Yeah.
But the songs were very long.
Okay, so we are at
song number 1, Up the Beach.
Yeah, so again, this is Nothing Shocking by Jane's Addiction.
Yes.
And the first song is Up the Beach.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's another one of these songs. We've been running to this lately, I think, with some of the albums that we're doing, where they have a nice opening track that just sort of serves as an introduction to the album. It's not a grand statement on its own, but it sort of welcomes you to the album. It's sort of like an overture at the beginning of a movie or a play, and it just gives you a chance to settle in. So I like Up the Beach a lot in that regard.
I have no qualms with it. Strong lyrically.
Yeah. Only a few lyrics, though.
Yeah.
But definitely it sets a mood and a feeling.
It does, yep.
Ocean Size. It's fine. It's not one of my favorites on the album, but it's a fine song. Wants to be the ocean, strong and powerful and immovable. Makes me think of Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee used to always say, be water. And it gave me Bruce Lee vibes.
So this was kind of the first side of an actual album. I would not be crazy about sitting through this one to get to what I think are much better songs following.
Yeah, Ocean Size made perhaps a bit of a turn off, and
it was all right.
Yeah, I agree. Doesn't come into one of my favorites. Had a Dad, third song, is a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
And again, this goes back to what you said about the bassist Eric Avery, who also I believe was co-writer on this song, which also going back to what we talked about with the financial agreement. Why that was so egregious is his other bandmates were contributing quite a bit. Like, he did not write every word of every song.
Sure.
Yeah, and so Had a Dad was at least co-written by Eric. I like this song.
Yeah,
I like the song a lot.
I did too. A lot of ego to take 50% credit on everything.
A ton. Yeah.
Okay.
Ted Just Admit It.
Ted, Just Admit It, yeah.
Great song. Love the song.
Good mass murder.
Opens up with an interview with Ted Bundy, who's a convicted serial killer, and who was claiming innocence, I suppose, in this whatever interview he was giving at the time. So I think that inspired the title, Ted Just Admit It. Also, this is a song that contains the lyric "Nothing Shocking" in it. Yeah.
How ironic.
Or not.
All right. I like both of those songs. I like Had a Dad, like Ted Just Admit It. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the next one as well.
Do you? Standing in the Shower Thinking.
So of all of the depth and kind of the message that has to be told in so many of these songs, and then you get this one where he's basically peeing on himself.
It's a little lighter in mood.
Yeah,
it is a little lighter in mood. Yeah, for me, not a skip, but probably the closest thing to a throwaway song on the album. In probably in relation of what you just said. It doesn't have the same weight as some of these other songs.
I totally agree.
Yeah, but it's a fun song. I don't dislike it.
Speaking of fun songs,
Summertime Rolls.
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Slower, bluesy, kind of jammy a little bit. It's got a great bass groove, like an incredible bass groove. And then it builds and builds and builds in intensity.
So it was never released as a single, right?
No.
It should have been. I think,
it's an incredible song.
I think it's either 2 or 3 of my favorite songs on this
yeah,
album.
I think that's fair. But it's also probably not a super radio-friendly song either, in that it's just
Why?
It seems, I don't know, a little too smart. A little too, takes a while to get going. It takes,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I would say. Like, it's got a little, it may or may not grab you immediately, which we would like a radio song to do. It probably isn't as hooky as some of the other songs are.
Right.
So that would be perhaps why not, but it is no lesser of a song. It's a fantastic song. Yeah, it's so moody, so California.
Right. Yeah.
It's a terrific song.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mountain Song, which you alluded to earlier, was the single.
One of the singles.
One of the singles. Released a video that couldn't possibly be shown on MTV. So again, it's sort of an anti-MTV statement.
Nothing shocking here.
Nothing shocking.
How ironic.
Oh God. And
Walked right into that.
but also why I think they do qualify as an art rock band. Like, I think they have a lot of artistic integrity. I think they're willing to put out what they think and what they feel and what's true to them, and probably passed up on some. And as much as Farrell is probably obviously a really good businessman, if not a terrific human being, was also willing to pass on some of the easy money that maybe MTV would have been offering or the radio would have been offering.
Maybe, but this is also kind of the era of you're starting to creep into the era of the shock jock, right? So those things are sort of.
Are you talking about Howard Stern and Steve Dahl?
Dahl and
Right.
I mean, Dahl was out there for a while, but and Dahl kind of was the godfather of the shock jock kind of era, and that all those guys kind of led into that. Which all I'm going with is, being very provocative.
Yes.
You may not take the easy money up front, but you gather, you get the attention. You get noticed. You get talked about. It's another way to get talked about.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, that's
and
fine.
as you're separating yourselves from others, it's a good. I mean, that the album cover itself could never be on a shelf in the '80s
Right, and
record
it
store.
wasn't. Well, I mean, it was in brown paper wrap and everything. So,
right.
But having said that, again, I think this is art. So when you want to, I know you want to keep saving your nothing shocking irony, but I do think as an artist, like a true artist, you're probably less concerned. Like it's not doing things for the purpose of being shocking. It's doing things for the purpose of making a statement.
I think you're giving him way too much credit.
Oh no, I think he's a true artist. I think his girlfriend, Casey Nicole, is the one who also was an artist, like a true artist, a visual.
I'm with you. I get it.
A visual artist.
Yeah.
And she was involved with the cover, which shows two nude females with their hair on fire on an odd rocking chair. So no, it's clearly.
What's the title of the album?
It's clearly that album cover and Nothing Shocking is meant to go together. That is a pairing. Your little irony thing works much better when you talk about the album cover than it does with the name of the band. But she was an artist, and she's actually the creator of that art, and that's actually her. Why do you? That's, for those of you listening, that's the sound of dropping a pen, which I'm assuming is a substitute for a microphone.
I don't think you want me to drop in the microphone.
I don't.
Yeah.
So she was the person who came up with it, and they were actually plaster casts of her body, and they're actually not nude women. They were plaster casts of conjoined twins with their hair on fire. So it's a shocking, nothing shocking album. Like, I'm not arguing that so much. But that was not but they let that, like, the record company let that go. Like, that went out. And I think that's a legitimate piece of art, first of all. Whether it's shocking or not, I think it's got much more of a statement. You're the one that thinks it's so ironic, and yet you give them no credit for being artistic. So you're
getting wild up here for not. I just think that I'm just a little more cynical about their intentions.
Yeah,
By being and
I don't understand why.
I think you should read more about interviews with him.
I've read quite a few interviews.
He wrote a book, didn't he?
I don't know. I did not read the book.
Yeah, so there's a book out there called Whore, I believe.
Okay.
About this whole process,
Yeah.
and it's very much about getting attention for himself and the band.
Well, he even has lines like that in this album, in the
so
songs.
I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that being provocative by releasing a video he knows can't be on MTV, to doing an album cover he knows can't go into
in the same
the
way you're
record store.
provocative about saying rock is dead.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
So
got your attention, got you all wound up and all, you old people in a bunch.
You are. But that was not, even though the album, like if you had to go to Walmart, it was in a brown paper cover. It was the back of the album that had to be redesigned for legal reasons. I don't know if you're aware of that.
No.
So yeah, the back of the album had a picture of the band and a field of windmills, of generating, like power generating windmills.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and the windmill company sent them a cease and desist letter. They did not want their windmills on their album, so they had to go back and Photoshop the album and get rid of the windmills. So it was the back of the album that had to be edited.
That's ironic.
That's how I write. That is ironic.
All right.
Okay,
so that's Mountain Song.
Yes.
Idiot Rules is next.
Idiot's Rules, great. This is so horns, calling out hypocrisy, and I will say the third album that's coming up is going to have some parallels to this album.
Yeah.
Okay. This is how a rock band properly adds horns to a rock song. Just saying. This is how, and it's also, I think, a great call out of hypocrisy in comparison to the song we're going to hear later. Like, I would put these two songs up against each other and just say Jane's Addiction did it better. But I love the horns in this. Do you know who's playing trumpet on Idiot's Rule?
No.
Flea. Yes, Flea, the bass player from the Chili Peppers.
How versatile are those bass players?
It's incredible. Yeah, they get
maligned
so much less credit than they deserve.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like Idiot's Rule.
It's good to know that Flea has an actual talent.
Oh boy!
All right.
Oh my God!
Okay.
Flea, you have been dissed, and if you'd like to come sit on the third seat with us,
see right there, yeah.
And I won't. I'll hold him. You hit him. How's that?
And here we go.
Jane Says.
Yeah.
This is the big single. This was U.S. So most of the times when I quote the ranks of these songs, I'm usually referring to Billboard 200 or Billboard 100. So mainstream,
sure.
Like overall. This song was an alt rock number 6, so it did not crack like the Billboard 100 or whatever, the top 40 at the time. But it was a alternative number 6, and as we said, based on an actual person who was an addict, who said and did addict things, as reported on in this song. I think that was the inspiration. And the good news is, upon last reading, she did get clean and made it to Spain.
Nice.
So I think there's a happy ending to this. The song has steel drums in it. How many alt metal rock songs have steel drums in it? And they fit wonderfully. Like, you don't walk.
So he said everything in here, everything, all the lyrics in there are true.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a true story. So go back and listen to it again.
I think probably true to him, to be honest, but because Jane herself has different viewpoints on some of the lyrics. But I think they definitely reflect his personal experience and his personal beliefs and his personal. I think they're definitely true to Perry Farrell.
Yeah, which is, now. Go back if for anybody listening who hasn't listened to this album in a while, go back and listen to the whole thing again, and see how well this this song kind of fits in with the whole style and shape of the album.
Mm-hmm.
Because like on the radio or classic
On
rock
its
or
own.
whatever, it gets tossed in with the Red Hot Chili Peppers
Of
and
course.
Guns N' Roses.
Right.
It's this and then Sweet Child of Mine and then Californication or whatever those
Okay.
songs that and I think it loses the power of it.
No, it's a great song.
And in the context of everything else going on here,
Yeah, I agree.
it's a much better song.
Yeah, I
than-
mean, if you're just putting it on the radio and you're thinking, well, I'm just going to throw this in with other LA rock groups, it probably doesn't have the same effect. But yeah, it's a wonderful song, part of a great album.
Okay, and then
Venue Boys, just a short little jazz guitar kind of instrumental.
Thank You
type.
Boys.
Thank You Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, looks like a typo.
Thank You Boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was the original end of the album.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah, because Pigs
Pigs
and
and
Zen
Zen.
was only on the CD, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't on the vinyl.
Should
right?
have been on the CD.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my God.
I don't understand that. I
I-
don't. I think Pigs and Sin is terrific. I like it. It's another great bass riff song. I mean, this is a song that kind of is, I think, where we disagree. Because I like this song because of the bass riff and the vocals and the guitar playing that are on it. And like all, this is the I Hate the Music Business song on the album.
Yeah.
And so when you were talking about some of the sellout and the horror thing and all that, I think some of those lyrics come in on this song.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I do like the song. I think it's great. I think it's fine. It would fall into one of my favorites.
All right. So now, perfect album, landmark album.
I think it's great as an album, like as a whole album. I don't think it's. I would say it's perfect. It always goes to your definition of perfect, which would you skip any songs on this album? And I would not skip any songs on this album. So whenever I listen to this in preparation for the show,
How do you
after like 3.
how do you want to evaluate albums?
No, I'm just saying.
You accuse me of
I'm
like
not accusing of anything. It's just, is this a perfect album? Our definition, the show's definition is,
right? Don't blame
are there
me.
any
It's the
skips?
show.
Are there any skips?
Correct.
I thought you were the show.
I am the show. Yes.
So no, there's no skips because I didn't skip any songs. And even in listening to this album 3 times through to get ready for this podcast, even knowing what comes next, I wasn't skipping any songs. I listened to every song all through, and I enjoyed them all. It is not a double perfect album. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 favorites out of the 11. So I do not have it as a double perfect album.
I added Summertime Rules to my Jane Says is on my
It's already there.
my curated list.
Yeah,
I added Summertime
Rolls
Rules.
got added.
Yes.
And it'll be there for
Until
how
I
long?
get bored of it.
Okay.
Till something better comes along.
Okay. What's the average lifespan of a song on your playlist?
Some of them hung around a long time, and I get some moods, where I'm more punky than, and then I get nostalgic and go into more of the old '80s songs. And,
Okay.
Of our high school and college era.
All right, this is gonna sound weird.
Uh-huh.
What if you just had a different playlist with all those like things in it, like your '80s things and your nostalgic things and your punk thing? You could make a different playlist for all those things.
Then it would be my playlist.
Well, you would still make the playlist. You could have a punk playlist and throw in like 4 other songs that and curate your punk playlist. It's just an idea. It's fine. Everybody may enjoy music as they like, but there are
Honestly, that has never crossed my mind.
there are alternative approaches to doing.
So this comes from when I had, I think, an iPod Shuffle.
Right, when you could only have so many.
There
songs.
was only 99 songs would fit on
right,
there.
and maybe it had 2 gigabytes or something.
Yeah,
or 4
so
gigabytes.
I had just curated a playlist, and it's kind of
right. And back when I had an iPod Shuffle, how many years ago? That's what I did too.
I still have my iPod Shuffle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it power up?
Yeah, I think I have the cord and everything.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So I do think this is a landmark.
We should bring it out next to our
Next to the Walkman,
yeah.
which was invented, I think. Now I'm just going off the top of my head, but it was like 50 years ago this month or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it was very. Yes,
I'd like no, with that 50 years ago, it was in our lifetime, and I'm like, oh well.
Our lifetime, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was
Never
like
mind.
in the mid 70s,
Never mind.
maybe.
Yeah. Move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Right.
Yes.
So I've got as a landmark album. All music calls it cutting edge, influential, and timeless. I agree with those words.
So did it get? The older it kind of got more influential.
I can tell you my personal experience with it was I didn't listen to it much. I did not listen to the entire album until much later. But I always liked Jane Says. And I always liked the songs off of Ritual de la Habitual. Like, I liked the radio songs that Jane's Addiction did. I just didn't. Back in the day, we had to buy albums.
Right.
And so I did not like them enough to buy
the
album.
Correct.
But later, the first time I listened to the album, I loved the album on first listen.
How about, so lifting the veil on the show a little bit.
Right.
We were both kind of shocked when you picked this album when we saw the year it was.
Oh, yeah. Right. That it was so...
No.
And I think that's a really great thing to point out, because when you talk about the landmarkness of this album, this is like a mid-90s album
it is.
that was made in 1988. I mean,
Yeah.
that really does tell you how influential this album was and is. So I don't know. I think
honestly,
Jane's Addiction was always important on the radio. I don't know that they got the love ever that they deserved. And for me personally, finally getting, when I could stream the album and listen to it, I was like, oh my God, this to me is an amazing album. And I wish I had listened to the whole album a lot sooner, because I really liked it.
I agree. But to your point, in '88 we had to buy the whole
You had to
album.
buy the album. So there's a lot of albums that
Mhm.
I only heard songs on the radio. And that's as far as I got with it.
Yep. Agree.
It's kind of like Zeppelin plus Lou Reed to my ears a little bit. It's got like a heavy metalness to it, but a Lou Reed edge to it. And if you think of even the hard edge, like New York things, it's kind of weird. It's kind of brings a New York edge to L.A. almost in terms of the content of the lyrics and everything.
I definitely like. I'm not. There's definitely exceptions. There's songs I like in heavy metal. There's
right.
There's some hair metal songs that
Sure.
you end up singing along to.
You have to. It's a requirement.
Right. So there's definitely those, but I was never that guy. I was never the guy with the spiked hair. And
Right. That was not what I identified with back in the day.
So this was a nice kind of softening of the edges of the metal.
Okay.
To be a little.
It was more accessible to you. It was
Yeah.
And Rolling Stone has it at 312, so it's in the Rolling Stone Top 500.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So it's a really great album. Only a single platinum album though, and like I said, it really only charted on the alt charts. So it's really an alt rock album, a true alt rock album.
Yeah.
But it really rocks. It went from that alternative indie sound and from the different, like you're saying, it was metal brought down to alt, but to me it was like alt turned up to metal in a way. I kind of almost see the reverse of it, but we meet in the middle.
That's fair. Yeah, fair enough. All right. Well, that was a very good discussion about a landmark album. I will call it a landmark album. But it's time to move on, and we have a live read.
Yes, we do. Two Fat Guys in an Album is sponsored by Deeper Connections Counseling, helping people connect to themselves, the people they love, and the world around them through individual and couples therapy for Illinois residents, both in person and online. More information at dcctherapy.com.
Yeah, well, as we kind of dig deeper into some bands and some music, and you see kind of how relationships can really kind of warp and influence.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about the blow up on stage.
No,
I mean, I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
So they just recently disbanded on
Yeah,
tour
again,
because they
got into a little bit of
got into it
fisticuffs.
online. So
But
they could use some deeper connections help.
They could definitely need it. But you see how old wounds, really kind of affect people,
Yes.
maybe nothing that actually you did or was anything of your fault. Dave Navarro's mother, was killed by her ex-boyfriend when he was 15 years old.
That's
clearly
going to leave a scar.
Yeah, that's going to have some effect on you. And so all of these guys had kind of that sort of a family issue that kind of cast a shadow on them.
Yes.
And that happens to many of us. And so there's nothing wrong. And I would encourage and reach out and find somebody to talk to in your area. If you're in the Illinois area, Deeper Connections Counselings are wonderful people to talk to. But really, you're worth it. Your relationships are worth it. Your family's worth it. Go talk to somebody. All right. With that, we got a couple other messages and words from our sponsors.
Hey, two fat guys and an album fans. This is Diane Blackburn, realtor with Baird & Warner and proud sponsor of this podcast. I pride myself in being committed to serve as a trusted real estate advisor for all my clients. Whether you're looking to sell, buy, rent, or lease, feel free to reach out and let's chat about how we can work together to make it happen. If you're watching, scan the QR code for my website or give me a call at 630-638-1999. See you on the flip side.
Are you someone who needs help with their Instagram or TikTok? Well, you're in luck. LR Media is here to help. Email me at laurarose2003@aol.com to get started. Let's make your social media shine.
Welcome to Side 2. This is where we kind of talk about some happenings going on, some things we're listening to.
Yeah.
And recently we've been doing kind of an album review, so I think we have one of those coming up as well.
Yeah, we'll get a few of those things, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I got something just to ask you about. Just
all right.
To totally get your opinion on.
Gotcha. Because I withhold my opinions quite a bit, so I'll try to open up here and give you my honest thoughts.
Nice. So I was actually looking at a map recently.
Okay. A paper map.
Trying to was it? No,
not
it was
your
actually
phone.
on.
Was
my,
it on Waze
was
or Google Apple Maps or something?
Yeah, it's irrelevant. But I was yes, it was on electronic map.
Okay, now you didn't.
And I was
fold
trying
the
to
map.
find where something for work was.
Okay.
And it was over by Lafayette, Indiana, and kind of pushing east of Lafayette, Indiana. There's a small town out there, and notice that the highlight.
Okay.
What?
Well, you just referred to like Lafayette, Indiana, and then a small town. But go on.
Well,
and Lafayette, is this the home of Purdue?
Lafayette, yes, Purdue.
Gotcha.
Purdue, yes.
All right, go on.
So I was looking for kind of something outside of Lafayette, Indiana.
Yeah.
And there's a little town, and there was only kind of one, normally on electronic maps, highlights pop up or church
like
pops
restaurants
up or gas.
or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right.
And the only thing that popped up was a cemetery, was a grave.
One grave.
One grave, and it was the.
So this sound. Okay, I'm sorry. Finish.
And it was the grave of the lead singer of Blind Melon.
Oh.
Shannon Hood.
Really?
Right.
A lone grave.
So he's buried in this cemetery in this small town in central Indiana.
Wow.
Basically,
that's pretty interesting.
The only reason I bring that up is because Blind Melon is touring again.
Yes, I saw that.
And
are you wondering how are they going to tour with one song?
Well,
two. They have two.
They have two.
Yeah.
But his voice
was the sound of Blind Melon.
Yeah.
I agree. I thought you were going to ask me if one person is buried, can you call it a cemetery? Or is it just a grave? Much like if there's a song that, like, it's just a one-song thing. Like, is this song by itself a genre? That's where I thought you were going with it. But go on.
No, but it shocked me that Blind Melon is touring under the name Blind Melon.
Right. What's he going to do about it?
How would they sound?
I don't know. You have to go see him, find out.
I think they're coming to Chicago.
Yeah.
Again, it's a two-song.
Are they coming to the casino
Yeah, that sounds
I
right.
think they're going to. I think they're going to be at Rivers actually, but I'm not positive on that. Don't quote me on that.
I thought it was Rivers or something, small, like
Right.
Desplaines Theater or something like that.
Desplaines Theater is wonderful, by the way.
I hear.
If they're playing actually, I would go just to go to the Desplaines Theater.
If he was still alive and he tragically died of
Another
drug
drug
overdose,
situation. Yeah.
if he was still alive, I would definitely go see them. I just don't know.
I think you could
It's
get
such
some
a distinctive sound.
right. I think it's pretty. I think there are sound-alikes out there. If that's what they chose to do, if they tried to, because look, you're gonna go see your favorite Blind Melon cover band, the Melon Blinds, and they probably have a guy that sounds reasonably close to the lead singer of Blind
Unless
Melon.
it's Tributasaurus. And then they don't even bother sounding like the band or the songs.
You're so wrong about that. If you are in the Chicago area and you have the opportunity to go see Tributasaurus,
Don't.
go see them. They're wonderful, but they're not like they don't try to copy the band completely. They don't put on the costumes. They don't try to copy the exact vocal sounds. It's like they don't, other than
Or
like Blind,
music or sound or
that's
nothing.
completely wrong. That's a whole nother. It's really a whole nother thing. You're completely wrong about Tributasaurus. But at any rate, I'm going to assume that they found somebody that sounds reasonably similar, and they are going to sound reasonably similar to Blind Melon. And if the rest of the band owns the band, you know what I mean?
It's the rest of the band.
Right. So
I looked.
So they can tour. I mean, the
They
Doors
can.
didn't the Doors tour after
Well, and the
Jim
Crickets.
Morrison, and the Crickets toured all the way
touring.
up. Well, no, they've since
Died,
left
but-
us, but they tour up
Yeah.
for a very long time. They toured.
Back to my argument: when's the band stop being a band? How many people need to die?
I don't know if Blind Melon wants to come on the show and
They're welcome to play in the Fat Cave here.
sort us out
Yeah.
on this, and
Yeah.
I'm sure the lead singer's wonderful, and we probably shouldn't judge until we hear
I'm
them.
judging. All right. What do you got?
I got, well,
Or
Led
do you want to
Zeppelin.
do the?
Well, I got a couple.
All right.
I got a couple. I just got done watching Led Zeppelin, Becoming Led Zeppelin on Netflix, documentary.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's
listed. I didn't.
It's outstanding.
Yeah?
It's got lots of interviews, modern interviews with members of Led Zeppelin, and it also has some archival interviews with John Bonham, which is really nice that they interwove in there.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of archival footage and live performance. And what I really liked about it, even though obviously Led Zeppelin is just a massive mega band, and we've all heard everything that Led Zeppelin is, right? I mean, we know everything, I think. But listening and following the way they set up this documentary, I felt like I was discovering them for the first time, because they took you to the very beginnings and showed the formation of the band and all that kind of stuff. It only goes up to the second album, and then it kind of stops. And so it really truly gave me the feeling of like I'm hearing Led Zeppelin for the first time, and it was really kind of cool. And they had, again, the interviews were great. I think it's a really well-done documentary, so I'm recommending it.
The only thing I really have to say about Led Zeppelin at this point is, so I still I talked about this on some of the early shows, but and we would do it. We would go into places and ask somebody the question, bartender, waitress, whatever. We would ask to give us a perfect album.
Right.
And I still do that.
Yes.
And the most common response is either Zeppelin 2 or Zeppelin 4.
Right.
It's
a those are good answers, and I'm sure we'll be diving into those albums at some point in the
Zeppelin
future.
4 is probably in the future here somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, it's a really, really good documentary. I'm recommending it.
Okay.
I saw the Bodeans for what it's worth on the 4th of July.
For what it's worth?
Yeah, they're good. I like them.
Yeah,
I like the Bodeans. It was it was one of those festival performances,
Right.
so the audience was sort of a lukewarm audience because some of them were just there for fireworks and others were there to hear the band. But they were nice. They're still in really good voice, and they played all the hits. And if you like the Bodeans and they're coming around, they're go check them out.
Worth a 10 spot.
Yeah, they did a good job. So there it is.
And your favorite price, right?
Free.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure it was.
No. Fat guy special.
Fat guy special. CCK Barbecue was there too. Speaking of fat guy specials, they had like one of the best barbecue joints in the Chicago area.
That probably wasn't free.
It was not. It was less free, but still
hung with you longer.
But still delightful.
Yeah.
I don't know. I go one more. You want one more?
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
friend of the show, friend of the show, actually, probably more likely. Scorch.
Yeah.
Yeah, who's is a Chicago blues, punk bluegrass maybe banjo player, punk grass, Chicagoan.
Definitely Chicago.
Yeah.
Punkgrass is probably pretty good.
Yeah, he does some really good stuff, and friend of a friend, and we've seen him a few times live and enjoyed him. He is currently doing the voiceover work for the Blackhawks' 100th anniversary jersey reveal video. Scorch is sold out.
Good work.
Scorch
Good
is
work
sold
if
out.
you can get it.
Yes, so
You
he's...
he would definitely be doing those voiceovers.
Oh, I totally would.
Yeah.
Scorch, you're a sellout. Come on the show. Debate me.
Bring the banjo.
Bring the banjo. Yeah, if you want to hear... My personal favorite song by Scorch is Lonesome Low from his 2016 album Circle Around the Signs.
What's the name of the song again?
Lonesome Low.
Lonesome Low.
Yes, but it's from the 2016 album because his first album has the same song on it, and he does it in a happier banjo-y way, like that. And you can't sing a sad song on the banjo.
Thank you, Steve Martin.
Except it's a sad song. So he slows it down in 2016, and I prefer it. Yeah, the album Circle Around the Sign. And if you want to see hear something less depressing by him, Lost at Sea is more upbeat with some fancy picking.
Nice.
So either of those. But good, I guess good job, Scorch. But you're sellout.
All right. We got a few more minutes on this side. You want to do an album review?
Yeah, we got an album review.
Yeah.
We looked at King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard released their 21st album.
They are prolific.
Called Phantom Island.
Yeah.
They actually released 5 albums in 1 year, 2 separate times. They just go on these tears.
They're on the Neil Young track.
Yeah. So yeah, they're kind of an experimental prog psychedelic jam band.
Yeah.
They hit a lot of genres. They're very.
I dragged my feet on these guys about as long as I could possibly.
Yeah, I'm curious what you came up with on it, because this is the first time I've listened to a full album myself by King Gizzard. I know they're highly regarded. They're kind of a cult underground type of band.
Well, it's another one of those bands that you've heard of. You could go and sit on the lawn and listen to them all night long, jam and play.
Right.
And walk away and not be able to name a song.
Right, unless you know them.
Unless you
were a giz head.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Giz head.
Yeah.
You go with the fish heads and the dead heads.
I didn't name it. They're the giz heads.
No,
so there's actually on the message boards, some giz head put up a message like, shouldn't we have a different name? Like, aren't we just stealing from? And everybody said no. They said, well, if you're a metalhead, you're not copying anything. I mean, you're just a head. You're just a giz head.
Yeah.
So they're from Australia.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they're Australian. And so they've only been around since 2010. I'm not sure how relevant that is to you in terms of, are they a new band or old band or whatever.
Are they rock?
They are an experimental progressive psychedelic jam band.
All right. You're just going to let that hang out.
Melbourne artist Jason Gallia was the album cover creator. He does all the album covers.
They are worth looking.
Yeah.
You
and they're sort of
the Fat Cave here.
You could. They've actually charted 3 albums in the U.S.
That is surprising.
Yeah.
On the standard, on what chart?
Yeah, the chart on the Billboard
Really?
200. Infest the Rats in 2019 was a U.S. 64.
That was a good. Yeah.
And then 2 albums of the 5 that they released in 2017, Flying Microtonal Banana was a US 170, and Murder of the Universe was a US 106. I listened to Flying Microtonal Banana as well, because now I'm been dragged into the Gizzverse just a little bit here.
Gizzverse?
Yeah. And he got a guitar from a friend in this, like a Flying V. You know the Flying V, famous Flying V guitars. Looks like a V. Yeah. Except this one was shaped in a banana. And then it was specially, I swear to you, I'm not making this up. Think of the band name, and don't look at me. Ask them. Think of the name of the band before you look sideways at me.
Flying Banana.
The Flying Banana, but it's the Flying Microtonal Banana. So they tuned it not like a regular guitar. So microtonal. Okay, I know.
Here you go.
But this is really interesting.
Yeah, go ahead. But you got to explain it. You got to.
No, I know. I started down that road. Okay, if you just think of a piano, okay, you could walk up to a piano and hit keys, and it would make sound. All right, and you would be playing notes that are part of what we would call Western music scale. You know, European music, American music, even Canadian music, and
just metric keys.
The metric, right? And so, and that order of notes is, I guess, sort of called tone. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But there are sounds in between those notes. And so if you think of, say, blues singers many singers who scoop their voices, or
sounds in between the notes.
Sounds in between the notes. Think of Stevie Ray Vaughan, who bends a note on his guitar, or a jazz musician or a jazz saxophone player. There's actually sound in between the notes. Okay. And then other music, Eastern European music, or even Indian music, is even sometimes based on this microtonal music, where you get sounds in between the notes. That's what we refer to as microtonal. So they created a Flying Banana guitar that could play microtonally. They changed the frets around so that you could create those in-between notes. And they weren't in-between notes anymore. They were actual notes. And they learned to play this instrument, and they created a microtonal bass to go with it. And I don't know if they modified key. Like, I don't even know how you would start with key. They did all this stuff and recorded an album called Flying Microtonal Banana in 2017. All right, and I'm just going to say, for all of you out there who like this sort of a thing, it's pretty good. Like, the thing that surprised me about it is it didn't sound especially weird to me. Now, I know you have delicate ears, and like when it came to Bruce Hornsby, I upset you. So I think that you are able to. I
have found nobody that thinks that's a good actual.
One of our sponsors does, and also a member of our live audience likes it. So, but one of our sponsors has confirmed that they like it, and I'm sorry to say, stopped at song 7 of Changing Colors. But at any rate,
fortunately, he hasn't left a message.
Well, yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, there's that. I think it's a very accessible album, actually. Like, when I heard it was going to be microtonal, I thought I might be turned off by it a little bit, and they do a really good job of making that accessible. That has nothing to do with their newest album, Phantom Island, which was just released in 2025. It's their 27th studio album. 27 albums since 2010.
Since 2010.
Yeah.
15 years, 27 albums.
And it was written and recorded at the same time as their previous album, Flight B741. So they were, recorded at the same time but released separately. This album, you may have noticed, has orchestral accompaniments in it and horn tracks and things like that, which is not common to them. So I don't know if this is the first album that had orchestral accompaniment or not. I'm not officially a Giz head, so I apologize for that.
You're Giz adjacent.
Giz, yeah, but I appreciate them. And so they had they recorded this album. And then, for some reason, just maybe because their King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard decided it needed orchestral accompaniment. and they found
after the
after the
yeah,
fact. The album was already recorded, and then they found a composer who overdubbed the orchestral tracks. They sent them the original tracks, and he created orchestral accompaniments for them. So pretty interesting way to create an album.
It is not having, being a fan of music, but not an aficionado
Right.
or the maestro.
No.
It is fascinating to me how many different ways there are to make an album.
Yeah.
We talked about the Paul Simon and all the
Right.
stuff he did. They were basically recording
Music first
and sounds and
Yeah.
whatever, and then he built songs around it.
Yeah.
You got King Gizzard. This is just, they're just, I guess I didn't really pick up on a lot of the orchestral stuff.
Okay.
Didn't really jump out at me. I mean, I heard some of it, but
Oh.
didn't.
Maybe the mix was wrong.
Didn't think it was anything unique to them, So
Well, it would
I
depend.
didn't
Like
know
if you had
their-
listened to
right.
their other 26
Yeah.
albums, then you're like, oh my
I-
gosh, there's
I have
orchestral
not.
accompaniment here.
I finally got into a couple of their albums, a couple of their songs.
Okay.
I do have one of their songs on my favorites.
Uh-huh.
And my
Do you know the name of it?
no, I could not.
Okay.
Could not tell you.
All
I'll
right.
have to look. I'll look at the break.
Yeah.
But it's a good listen. It's something you can. It's good background music. It's good working music. It's good jamming music. It's good driving down the road music. It's
Okay.
It's fun.
It's
I mean,
good. It's fun.
yeah.
It's creative.
I would love. I think we have a conflict, but I would love to. I mean, they're coming to Ravinia.
Yeah, I would
or
go
something,
see them.
yeah. I would.
Ravinia's expensive. I don't know if I'd see them at Ravinia prices, but no, I would totally go see them. I'm sure they're going to be
I'd
at
have
the
to pay for you because you're the only fool
person that would go.
with
They
me.
might be at the Shed or something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. I don't know if you want to look at this song. Grow Wings and sort of. They released them somehow as singles. It's Australian. They were Australian singles, I guess.
There you go.
Okay. Grow Wings and Fly was the last song on the album. That's one of the primary songs on the album. A favorite of mine. Out of this album, I really two favorites. The seventh song, Aerodynamic, actually is like a flute country rock intro to it. Gives it a little bit of a Marshall Tucker band sound that I really liked.
But not ripping off Marshall Tucker.
No, inspired by.
Inspired.
Big difference. Really big difference. Really big. Although I like a good orchestral arrangement, I like that, and I like the horn bands. They add horns to some of these. I actually don't feel it helped the songs. I preferred the songs towards the end of the album that were a little more traditionally jam band sounding and a little less, I don't know, musically complex in the arranged sense of it.
All right, wrap this up. Give me some fat guys.
Fat Guys. Yeah, like I said, cool album. Doesn't always work. The orchestral arrangements to me don't always work, but there's some really good songs on it. Probably won't listen to this album in its entirety, but there's some good songs on it, and I'd like to see them live. I give it 6 Fat Guys.
Is there a particular song you would recommend?
Well, that's what I was saying. I like Grow Wings and Fly, and Aerodynamic are the two that I like, and they were towards the end of the album a bit. Silent Spirit is good. The beginning songs like Phantom Island, a lot of these songs are sort of suites, like they change. They have multiple sections, and so to me they're almost fake complex. Like it's like, oh, I'm going to write a complicated song. What's the easiest way to do that? Well, I'll have a slow part. I'll have a fast part. I'll do this.
You're not wrapping this up.
I gave the songs. You asked me a question.
Give a song for somebody to try.
Aerodynamic and Grow Wings and Fly.
Nice. All right. So there you go. I agree. It's probably a 6.5 Fat Guy kind of album. If you haven't tried King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, they are definitely worth listening to. They have their place in the world. They're a good jam band. They're good. Mowing the lawn to, or just background at a party, or
this makes me insane when you start
Yeah.
complimenting albums for their banality.
Right. Yeah, they're
Okay.
good. Yeah, absolutely. And with that, we'll flip this album over. We'll switch albums and get to side 3 after a couple more sponsors.
This episode of Two Fat Guys in an Album is brought to you by Smidge Films. If you're looking to bring your ideas to life with some cool cinematic work, Smidge Films has you covered. From brand stories to promos, we'll help you tell your story in a way that really sticks. Check us out and see what we can do for you.
So here on side 3 is our Beyond Classic Rock segment, and today we're going to look at an album called The Boy Who Died Wolf
Yes.
by the band Highly Suspect.
Mm-hmm.
What do you know about the band?
Well, it's a 2016 album. It was a US 28, and we talked about the various charts, Billboard charts, and so it was on the alternative chart. It was a number 1 on the alternative chart back in the day, but it was a 28 on the main Billboard chart.
How much did you know about this band before I made you listen to this?
No, I take it back. This I knew about it a bit and I didn't get to confirm this, but I'm 99% certain that my children at some point said I should listen to this band, because I recognized a couple songs. Yeah. I could not have named the band, but as I was listening to it, I was like, oh, I think my son told me about this song when it came out. Yeah. But I did not get to confirm that with them, so I don't know if it's a phantom memory or not.
So I found this album. Mm-hmm. So this was my pick. So
okay.
Me of the Changing Colors Sheepdog legacy.
Well, I said this. I don't know if I said this on air or not, or when you were weeping in the corner to try to cheer you up. You pick a lot of really good albums. Even Babe Ruth struck out. Yeah. He had some homers, and then he struck out a few times.
You were clearly angry, though.
You made me listen to 17 crappy songs. Yeah. Over and over and over again.
Yeah. Anywho, so this came about because, again, my asking those questions, give me
perfect album.
Give me a perfect album.
Yeah.
And a coworker from Buffalo, New York, who... shout out to all Buffalo fans there, who is probably a decade or so, maybe 12, 13 years younger than us.
Okay.
This was the first thing that came flying out of his mouth.
They're 12? How do they get a job if they're 12 years old?
12, 13 years younger than us.
Well, I'm just saying we're sprightly.
We are sprightly. So maybe, a generation before us.
Okay.
This was what he
This was his favorite album, or his perfect album. I'm sorry.
He said he could listen to it any time.
Okay.
And I was intrigued enough to listen to it.
Yeah, and then
flying home from Buffalo. And other than maybe a song or two, I'm thinking he's not that far off.
You concur?
I do.
All right.
So this is it's.
This is Highly Suspect. I've got him down as like an alt rock grunge power trio from Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's good old. So interestingly enough, they're from like Cape Cod, Massachusetts, but they moved or they started relocated to Brooklyn.
Yeah,
and were basically a cover band.
Yeah,
and they did a lot of like Floyd and Hendrix,
which you can hear in this album.
You can really hear it.
Yeah,
you can.
The Floyd especially.
Yeah, you can hear how they were influenced by being a cover band as you're listening to them.
Yeah.
There's only 3.
And I will say, sorry to interrupt you, but most bands do start off as a cover band.
Yeah, I guess I never just.
No, I know. I'm not. I get it.
I never saw it. I never heard.
But this jumped out at you.
You really hear kind of the.
I totally hear especially the David Gilmour guitar solos, especially. Yeah. But go ahead. You were going.
No, I was just going to say. So there's 3 players here. There's 3 musicians. Mm-hmm. Johnny Stevens is the guitar and vocal guy.
And the primary songwriter.
And I think he's got a great voice. Bluesy, a little smoky kind of going on.
Yeah, he's got a little growl to him. He's got a little roughness to him.
I like it. And then brothers, Rich and Ryan Meyer.
Yes.
On bass and drums. So it's just a 3-piece band. Yep. There.
And they do credit all the songs to the entire band. So we've talked about that as a...
as opposed to
the complete opposite of Jane's Addiction, who the lead singer took all the credit.
Right. Yes.
Financially. And
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a nice again, everybody's situation is different. But
So-
when you're
so what'd you
crediting
call
the
this?
whole band, what do I call the
music?
music?
You
I
were
just
saying
had them as
grunge.
alt rock. I hear grunge in there a bit.
Yeah.
Not every song. Some songs are more alt rocky. Some songs have a little bit of a grunge influence to it. There's a hip hop. There's definitely a hip hop
Yeah.
vibe to this. On a couple songs, there's a strong hip hop style to it.
I would have gone more with like garage rock or just
It's fine.
yeah,
I'm okay with that.
good old rock.
Yeah.
But there is definitely a little bit of hip hop in there.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's kind of a younger rock.
Yeah.
Somebody trying to save rock.
And failing, apparently.
Well.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, this is their second studio album.
Mm-hmm.
Their first album, Mr. Asylum, actually had a song, a Grammy-nominated song for Best Rock Album, Best Rock Song Album, Lydia. And this is another, Johnny Stevens writes a great deal from personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
His songs are all very personal, and he just says what he thinks. And I think he even sort of struggles with where the differences between his stage persona and real life. Like, he incorporates so much real life into what he does that you're basically, I guess, seeing him up on stage.
So I didn't really intend this. I would like to take more credit for it, but there's a lot of similarities between the Jane Addicts album.
Yeah, no, I
and
noticed
this.
that right away.
So musically, there's a lot of homage
Yes.
almost to the Jane Addiction album.
Yeah. The songwriting,
But
like
there's also a lot of
the
the-
themes
yeah.
that run through the album are very,
Yeah,
very similar.
yep,
You have your drug issues, you have your
Yeah.
girlfriend issues, and I know those are probably on 90% of rock albums, but the parallels actually are very strong.
Yeah.
It's more than just that big picture. They're almost telling the same story with a different voice.
And then they have a cover in here.
They do, and you know how much I like covers.
You do.
I love covers. Send Me an Angel
Yeah.
was the cover in the middle of this album.
Which is a weird song to cover, but go on. How did you think they did with this?
I love it.
Yeah.
It was I'm going to be honest, I did not really like this album until I heard Send Me an Angel. And then the cover, it's a way of for me, it's a way of connecting with the band that I didn't really know.
Sure.
And so now all of a sudden this band's playing a song that I know and like, and now I have a connection to the band.
Fair
and
enough.
then when I went back and listened to it, I heard it a little bit differently because I was able to connect to the band through the cover song. Yeah, I think that's a one-hit wonder by the band Real Life from 1983.
Right, yeah.
And it's
Gotta be.
definitely I think it's a very Floydian sound to this. It's definitely got like the David Gilmour guitar solo tearing through it. It's pretty obvious. This, and to your point before about copying and homage, copying. This is the difference. And to me, too much of a copy and not enough of an homage and not enough of an influence. I hear it almost too literal and too much of a copy. So
Fair
you
enough.
can say,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? You can say
Yeah.
it any way you want. Yes, those are two sides of the same coin. And I don't know what the dividing line is. But when I heard the other stuff, it did not sound like a copy. It sounded like an influence. And this sounds like a copy.
Yeah.
But I do like the song at any rate. It's a really good, again, I like covers.
Yeah, no, I like the song too. I think so. The opening song, "My Name Is Human," was a hit. Right?
Number 2 is a number
Yeah.
2, but again on the mainstream charts,
Yeah.
which is also still not the top 100. It's
Right.
still a side chart, a sub chart.
Yeah.
But it was a number 2.
I think it's a really good song.
It's a really good song. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. It opens up with a little hip hopness to it. And there are some good vocals and guitar work on it. Like, he does play guitar pretty well. So I don't want to, and it just, it does, and it's a great first track, like I've been talking about the opening tracks.
Yeah.
This is another great opening track that kind of tells you this is an album, I think.
Yeah.
Now, if the rest of the songs were terrible, I guess it would have a different feeling to it. But having heard the whole album through, it's like, yeah, this first track really sets up the album.
Also, just 11 songs.
Just 11. Yeah.
So
They're
just a couple running through 'em quickly. I think
Yeah.
"My Name Is Human," I think is a very good song.
Yes, I
like,
agree.
The sixth song,
Postres.
Postres.
Do you know what that means?
No.
Desserts. Yep.
I like that. I do like Send Me an Angel. I like Viper Strikes a lot.
Okay.
I think Wolf, the 11th song, Wolf, is the closing song is very good.
Okay. It's pretty epic. It's a pretty epic song.
The only one I'm not crazy about is Chicago, the 10th song.
Yeah, and if you read reviews of that tends to be the one that gets poo-pooed the most. It's a ballad. It's just a little piano ballad.
It's okay. It's I wouldn't turn the album off. I wouldn't necessarily skip it, but it's.
But if you played in concert, you'd go to the bathroom. That would be the bathroom song.
Yeah, fair.
It's a quiet song. It's a very quiet. Definitely is different. You know, it's you can think of it like a rock concert, and every now and then they go to the quiet song. This is the quiet song on the album.
Sure.
So,
before the encore of Wolf.
Yeah.
It's a really good ending.
Yeah, it is a very good ending. Sort of bookends well with My Name is Human at the beginning.
Yeah. So the similarities again are striking with Jane's Addiction.
Mm-hmm. I like Little One, number 3. That was a number 1 mainstream, and I'm pretty sure that's the one that my son played for me.
Yeah.
It was either that or My Name is Human. I will need to confirm that for the future. That in the lyrics, there's like depression in one sentence, like in one lyric. It's raining, it's sunny, it doesn't make a difference. I don't care about anything at all. That is pretty sure I'm not a professional, but he sounds depressed there.
Yeah.
So
all right.
That's
I think it's a good album to me. It's worth the spin.
okay. I really only have 2 likes on the album. My Name is Human and Little One. The rest of the album for me, again, it's almost because it compares so closely with Jane's Addiction. It's almost like listening to Jane's Addiction is like, this is how a professional does it. It's almost like this is the minor league version of the Jane's Addiction album.
Wow.
I don't. It just does. It just really offsets hearing the same themes in the same kind of style, and one doing it. It's such a high level, and this one is fine. It's fine, but it's not a landmark album. You know what I mean?
No, it's definitely not. It's a very good album. I think it's a nice compliment to Jane's Addiction.
I agree.
And, a modern band that's touring.
Yeah.
Again, the album is 2016.
2016.
The Boy Who Died Wolf.
Yes. By
Highly Suspect. Band originally out of Cape Cod, Massachusetts, now out of Brooklyn. I definitely think it's an album that's worth listening to. It's a band that's worth listening to. So I disagree a little bit with you. The kind of the lower 5 version of Jane's Addiction.
Sure.
Let's
go with that.
Let's leave it there.
Yeah.
All right. So this is where if we had another sponsor, we would take a break and kick it to a sponsor.
Right.
But we don't. So
sadly,
live in front of you, we're just going to turn the album over to side 4.
Uh-oh.
And this is where the maestro of music, the siren of sound, the
we have
doctor of the diminished chord, ranks the album.
That's
so
me.
We
and
are
again,
we are going to put Jane's Addiction's
somewhere in this ring. We have 24 albums now.
Yeah.
The more we do this, the more I hate it.
Perfect.
I do.
If I can bring you pain every week, it's
well
worth it.
Like why can't they just be good albums? Why can't we just say we have 24 really good albums? Listen to all these albums. They're all great. They're all wonderful albums.
Because the foundation of this podcast, the show, if you will, is ranking the great albums.
The show capital letters or the show small letters?
This is what the show is about.
Ranking albums?
Yes, this is the foundational part of this, is this rank. This is what we talked about initially.
I don't understand that.
This is where we had Post-its notes on the Fat Cave about
I don't know what I was
the
thinking.
great albums.
I don't know where to put this album. I don't know. I did because I know the pressure's on and I must rank the album.
Yeah. So out of our 24,
out of 24, well, first of all, it's a landmark, so it's going to find its way in the upper half of the albums because it's going to be a landmark. And I flip-flopped. Actually, I flip-flopped something else. Wait a minute. There's multiple flip-flops going on here. Sorry, because it's stupid anyways. Why? I don't even know why I explained this. Last week.
Yes.
Last week, we ranked Who's Next. And I had Violent Femmes ahead of Who's Next. And I love the Violent Femmes. I love the Violent Femmes album.
Me too.
It's not better than Who's Next.
It's not.
And primarily on the strength of, say, Baba O'Reilly and Won't Get Fooled Again. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no.
So first, Who's Next is now ahead of the Violent Femmes.
So that
they
was
are
number
7th. They are now 7, and Violent Femmes is 8.
8.
And Graceland is 6, for what it's worth. Sgt. Pepper's number 1, Moondance is number 2. So anyways, Who's Next is up ahead of Violent Femmes. I do have 2 other 1970s albums ahead of Who's Next. Moondance, of course, but also Aqualung's still ahead of Who's Next. So I don't know. Say what you want with it. I think this whole thing is stupid. I like all these albums. My albums are sorted alphabetically. I just do this alphabetically in the future. It would make more sense to me. And then I would just have to decide if it was alphabetical by artist or album title. That would be my biggest decision to make.
Where are you ranking this?
I have this album. This is for sure a landmark album. I have it 9th. I have it behind, one spot behind the Violent Femmes. I have it ahead of London Calling. And I know you love London Calling.
I do.
Which is wonderful. I know a lot of people like London Calling. But I am putting Nothing Shocking currently in the top 10. It currently resides at number 9 out of the 24 albums that we've ranked.
Awesome. And we're going to have to wait for the 30th show to see where I will rank that.
Okay. Can't wait.
Yeah. So that leaves us with what's coming up next. And for the next show, we are going to dip our toes into another of the legends of rock and roll.
Oh, boy.
Royalty.
Are we doing another Van Morrison?
Rock and roll royalty, not the yacht rock classics.
Okay.
We are doing Let It Bleed by the Rolling Stones.
I think we just lost a sponsor, but okay. No, I can't wait.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
The Rolling Stones will make their first appearance on Two Fat Guys in an Album.
Excellent.
All right. So with that, we would like to thank our director and production team from Smidge Films, our media team from LR Media for putting out all of our shorts on TikTok and Instagram and wherever else they live. Our sponsors, Deeper Connection Counseling, Diane Blackburn from Beard Warner, Smidge Films, LR Media. If you'd like to contact us, you can find us on YouTube.
Yeah, I should say we've beefed up the descriptions in the YouTube. They do have currently the album rankings there if you want to so if you're listening, sort of using the YouTube as a little bit of a informational depository. So we appreciate if you're listening on Apple or Spotify or whatever. But if you'd like to see the album rankings, you can go to YouTube. And we also have a curated Fat Guys playlist that you can link to on Apple Music.
Awesome. So look for the Two Fat Guys playlist on Two Fat Guys an Album playlist on Apple.
On Apple. Well, I think you have to go to the YouTube and click on the link. And then you can add it to your list, and then you've got it forever, I think.
All right. Then
we could ask our people about that.
We populate it as it goes by. All right. With that, I am Fat Guy 1.
Fat Guy 2.
And we'll see you next time.
Here we go. Fat Guy 2. Getting ready to...
I am Mike Blackburn. I'll be your host and narrator. And with me, as always, my good friend, the maestro of music, the siren of sound, the doctor of the diminished chord, who is diminishing his chord at the moment. How is your chord diminished?
Been working on my diminished chords lately.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
In my bass lessons.